Oh, I had some.
They want you to pay.
That'll follow the call.
Dallas is at home. Damn, I can't tell you which one Dallas is at home exactly.
I don't remember which one. You know, I can pick it up. It's fine.
Oh, sorry. Good? Yeah.
Go into that for the movie too, and we see what happens. We got only 30 seconds.
People complaining about his hair.
You're lucky it got here because everybody else is losing his.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Joys of the Junk Era. I'd like to share a quote that I just came across while reading something unrelated to baseball. It's every passion borders on chaos, that of the collector on the chaos of memory. And that was written by Walter Benjamin in pardon my German, a work called Ich packe meine Bibliothek aus, which, according to Google Translate, means I unpack my library. As I unpack my library of baseball cards and start to organize them and think about them and arrange them and buy new ones and compare those new ones to the ones I had, the thought of why the hell am I doing this repeats itself in my head, not in a sort of disappointed, desperate way, but in sort of a fascinated way. I'm very interested in this this pursuit of collecting, and I thought this quote had offered some insight into that. To what extent is our pursuit of this hobby some effort to tame the chaos of our memories? Card collecting is quite engrossing, and it seems to be driven, at least in part for many of us, on our desire to reconsider or catalog or relive or even control our memories. Memories are essentially our subjective interpretations of experiences, and I don't think there are too many baseball card collectors out there who just picked up the hobby in adulthood. To those of you who are adults, there is some connection to nostalgia and memory and recollection of something that happened a long time ago. And I think in this sense, the act of collecting and talking about our collections, which I imagine seems quite arbitrary to many people, including at times myself, becomes quite philosophically important, or at least psychologically interesting. And that could be, I'm suggesting, just one part of the reason why we are doing this and why I think it's such an interesting and useful thing to do. It is quite contemplative. All right, I cut myself off there. Enough ranting. The footage at the very beginning of this video is a baseball card store / comic book store in downtown Lower Manhattan called Chameleon Comics. It's mostly comics, but they have a decent chunk of the very small store devoted to baseball cards. I went in there the other day and left with these packs, which are not or do not appear to be junk era items, I was initially intrigued because they had this Frank Thomas, but it's like it's a recent Donruss card. So I thought I would just pick them up and open them. They looked really quite promising, albeit, they're cards of the newer vintage, which I'm not necessarily opposed to. I just am much less familiar with. So each of them were only $1 for like a decent chunk of cards. So I thought I would just open them and flip through them and spend a little time on them with you all. All right, so let's see what we got. All right, so I could see this this Clayton Kershaw Chrome card, which I thought was pretty nice. I like the Chrome stuff. All right, so let's see if there's anything else. Chris Sale. I mean, so far these are seem like more or less commons. Bowman commons, but I mean, it was $1. Like, I feel like, this Clayton Kershaw you could probably sell for $1. And I just, I was kind of, I guess, curious whether, to tie this into what I was talking about at the beginning of this. It's like these cards don't, for lack of a better phrase, do it for me in the same way this stuff from corresponding to the period of when I was a kid affects me. I just sort of feel, even though I'm probably much more familiar with these players because now I'm a pretty avid baseball watcher, I still don't, I sort of, I guess, feel nothing when I see these. I still like the fact that they are baseball cards, and I like the act of flipping through them and sort of seeing what I like about them and what I don't like about them, and recognizing the players. But it's just a totally different experience for me than opening a wax pack or looking at an 87 Topps, for instance. This guy's first name is Jeter. Okay. That's really all I wanted is this Frank Thomas. So we'll put that one up here. And the Kershaw. I'm getting the distinct sense that pretty much every card that wasn't the first or last card in the pack is going to be just some junk common, but I can go through these pretty quickly. So let's see if I'm right about that. We've got Machado, 2018 Topps on the back or front, and this cool Mookie Betts. I mean, I have a greater sort of attraction to these throwbacky cards than I do the Ryan Sandberg. All right, see. Then I do the sort of newer Topps cards, the designs of which I'm just not super thrilled about. Okay, so Chris Davis, Andrew Stevenson, Kevin Pillar, Jordan Hicks. Rookie, I love this card because I'm a Cardinals fan. This guy is so insanely strong. 105, I think. He had most of the top 10 fastest pitches last season. All right, there's a Ricky Henderson. That's pretty neat. Brooks Robinson, Alex Gordon, Carson Fulmer. I mean, the same goes. No, I'm not trying to throw shade on the recent cards. I know who Brooks Robinson is, but only sort of in the arm's length historical way. I don't have any connection to him personally, the way I do Ricky Henderson. I don't think any of these musings are particularly novel, but I'm having them a lot lately, so I thought I would share them as I flip through this. You feel free to mute and just look at the cards. I don't know if this is an important card. It's bizarrely thick. It must be numbered or something. It's not. I don't know why it's so thick. I don't know who Corey Casto is, but this is his rookie, and it is a Bowman 2007 Bowman. Something tells me Corey Casto is not playing a whole lot these days. I could be wrong. Okay. Danny Putnam, same thing. I can go through these pretty quickly. Nothing is like super exciting, frankly, in here for me. Oh, look, a Manny Machado. All right, so they've padded an envelope with rather unremarkable common cards of recent vintage. But so far there's some nice stuff. I mean, this whole thing costs $5. I'm not like super disappointed. I mean, I'd pay $5 to flip through this many cards, no matter what they are. So, it's money well spent. All right, let's read off the names. I feel like I'm not giving enough credit to these guys. Michael Saunders, Matt West, John Knott, Tyler Mock, Matt DeSalvo. I mean, these aren't real autographs. Okay. Taylor Holiday, Homer Bailey. Oh, things looked so bright for you. Well, we'll see what happens with him on the Dodgers. He just had such a rough time on the Reds. So maybe it's a new start. I don't like seeing any pitcher just like bomb that badly. He was like 1-12. Angel Sanchez, Lars Davis, Adrian Cardenas, Brian Stokes, Jason Fernandez, First Bowman, Brett Pill. Wow, I mean, are these guys? Are any of these guys familiar to anyone? I wasn't following baseball that much during this time, but I'm just at a loss. Ryan Ouellette, Caleb Gindel, Michael McCormick. All right, so now we're back to the present day. Let's flip this over. I thought this Altuve was like super cool. Just his expression, it's just so fun. It's like you can tell even without seeing this that he's playing in an all-star game. Mark Reynolds, Nick Markakis. Oh, that's an all-star game card. Okay. Ozuna, 50-50 on whether he caught that. I wasn't super impressed with Ozuna defensively this season, or offensively for that matter. Brian Dozier. That's a cool card. Edwin Diaz. Josh Hader, who is just like absolutely terrifying. He is in the mold of Randy Johnson and Dennis Eckersley. I mean, he's a closer, but just this sort of wild man image. If you've seen my video about those two guys, Johnson and Eckersley, and endorse to any extent my prediction that they have never had a bad baseball card, I think that premise would carry through to Josh Hader. There's some comparisons to be made about their styles as pitchers. Wander Suero, Max Stassi, Freddie Peralta, Mitch Haniger, Sean Doolittle, Alex Bregman, who, like, for some reason my YouTube keeps recommending that I watch Alex Bregman walk around his house and talk about his clothes and stuff. Garrett Cooper, just to explain that for 1 second further, he has a YouTube channel with like 1 million followers, and it's like, it seems to be some sort of like, this is what I do in my off time kind of thing. He's now reached the level of stardom where he's making his own line of clothing and sitting courtside at Laker games and stuff. So I guess more power to him. I just don't have any interest in that. Garrett Cooper, Brent Suter, Michael Soraka. I don't know this guy. Robinson Chirinos. I'm short on AL stuff. Jorge Alfaro. Lance Lynn, who used to be with the Cardinals, had somewhat of a rough time with the Yankees. He just got traded. I don't know where he is now. Jay Bruce, or signed somewhere else. Trevor Cahill. Tyson Ross, who is no longer with us. Us meaning the Cardinals. He's still alive. I can't remember where he ended up. Giant dude. This guy, he's like, what? Does it say on here? Does it have stats anymore? 6'6", 245. It's a beast. This is a cool Austin Meadows rookie. There's another Sean Doolittle. Jose Barrios. Thunder and Lightning. Okay, so Billy Hamilton is the Lightning, no doubt. Not sure why Joey Votto's the Thunder, because of his hitting. It's kind of cool. I don't know. There's another Joey Votto. This is like a Joey Votto. We have a Joey Votto trifecta here. Jay Odorizzi and Austin Gomber, rookie. All right, that was a cool pack. That was a really good pack. All right. Let's see. Two more. I'm really enjoying this Saturday evening. Max Scherzer tops Chrome, and Jose Altuve tops Chrome. Okay, they really, to their credit, this baseball card store really packed their... And now I've managed to stick the Scherzer to the package. Okay. Okay. There's the Altuve. Joey Wentz, O'Neal Cruz, Lawrence Butler, Thomas Ponticelli, or Selly, I don't know, Adam Hill, Chris Paddock, Simeon Woods Richardson, Elliot Ramos, Ethan Hankins, Brandon Marsh. By the way, this is like back into the time period where I have no idea who these people are. Estevan Florial, okay. Griffin Roberts, Matt Manning, Joe Gray, Brent Rooker, Griffin Canning, Andy Siegler, Keston Hiura, Keston Hiura. Sounds vaguely familiar for some reason. Liberatori, know that one. Luzardo, Miller. Oh, this is back to the kind of, I don't know. These Bowman Chromes don't do it for me with the fake autos. Wendell Fairley. Josh Beckett. Lance Berkman. Reaching at first. Eli Tintor. Ronnie Ray. James Guerrero. Joey Side. Brad Miller. Omar Poveda. Jordan Zarnicki. Matthew Klemus. Kyle Murrah. Vaguely remember him. Okay, Felix Hernandez. Cole Hamels. Another Felix Hernandez in the gold variety. Miggy. Nelson Cruz. Now with the, I can't remember. Melky Cabrera. Jared Parker. And Mad Bum. Okay, one more pack. Here's another Floreal. These like around here, around these parts, they put all of the Yankees stuff on the outside because people just buy the Yankees cards. All right, here is a you know, little do they know I like the Cardinals card, so they put this on the outside. It's numbered to 150. Griffin Roberts Bowman, first Bowman blue variation. It's a cool card. All right, Bo Bichette, who is gonna follow in his father's footsteps and be a really good baseball player. Not as good as Vladimir Guerrero or Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I feel a little bad for him. He's kind of like in the shadow of Vlad Jr. All right, let's see. This is like worth hanging on to, I think, though. Just as Dante Bichette was like, I mean, they didn't play for the same teams, but Justin Jarvis. I mean, these are just like. Does this look to anyone else like this ball is just photoshopped right there? I don't think that's what a baseball looks like when you capture it mid-pitch like that. It's kind of creepy looking. Will Banfield, Jaron Kendall, Tristan McKenzie. There's another Bo Bichette. This is like a repeat. They're literally repeating the exact same cards. Okay. Oh, and back to these guys. Prince Fielder. Manny. I have a ton of Manny Ramirez cards. Chris Young. Adrian Gonzalez. Agon. Alfonso Soriano. All right. You know, some of the fun with these packs, like, you know, they've seen the cards, so you're not going to get anything crazy, but it's just like there's like some excitement or some prospect of their screwing up and putting in a card that's really good, but there's also the just element of randomness. It's like, what cards did they mix in here? So in that sense, it's like really for the pure collector. It's just like people who like to look at cards no matter what they are, knowing you're not going to get some major hit. Montz, Gibson, Martinez, Matthew Bushman, Joseph Mahoney, and Matt Inoue. Well, that is a little annoying. This is what I got. These are the cards that I bought in that Craigslist purchase. I had a good time doing these. I appreciate your watching, and thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.